wanted to come on because it is 10:22. My cat just scared me. When she's outside and she wants in, she jumps up at the living room windows. Scares the shit out of us every time. Anyways, it's December 26th. It's the day after Christmas. So I hope everybody had a Merry, Merry Christmas. I hope everyone got everything that they wanted. And if not, I hope that luck changes soon, or that circumstances change soon. For me, it's kind of just about making it through the holidays and trying to put on the best brave face for my kids as I can. I talked about this in my last video. The holidays are hard without certain people, and so you got to make the best of it with the ones who are here and in the way that you can. So the last couple days have just kind of been making for me and me alone. You know, just I knitted a few rounds on a hat that I'm learning how to circular knit. Today I finished a toddler hat that I was working on just to get it out of my bag and put it away. I had a yarn ball in there that I was working on a scrunchie, so I finished that. And then I wanted to finish the yarn ball, so I did another scrunchie. And then I was in the mood for scrunchies, so I grabbed a couple more yarn balls and made some more scrunchies. And then I had a little bit of scraps of each color so that I made teeny tiny little octos. It's velvet yarn, so either way, that's what we're doing. I have a little bit of new yarn storage here in the living room to make it look a little tidier. It's bringing me inspiration. It makes me want to make. And then we had a change of storage solutions for the kids' toys. So it's just way less clutter, way less overwhelm. It's allowing my brain to think and breathe and feel. So there's that. My toddler's in bed. My older son is in another room watching TV. So there's that. I've been watching my YouTube videos. Not my videos, but I've been watching crochet YouTubers from my account all day. So right now I'm watching Haley. It's Haley Lewis on YouTube. It's Haley S Design Studio on Instagram. She had Vlogmas this year. Yeah, this year. I've caught up on Passionate Kelsey. I've caught up on Refined Vibes. I caught up on Crochet Corner 0114. I've watched a couple episodes of Crochet by Jenna. And there was somebody else sprinkled in there that I don't remember at the moment. I've watched a lot of YouTube today. So why don't we get into what this video is going to be about? This is going to be part 1 of a 4-part series. This year, I challenged myself to crochet at least 100 new patterns to me in 2024. So since this year only has 5 days left, let's start with the first 26 patterns. Okay? What I'm going to do is I'm going to throw up, not throw up as in puke, but I'm going to throw up the picture of what I made over here with the pattern designer name here. I will not promise to link anything because linking 25 separate patterns, that is a shit ton of searching. And it took me long enough to find the Instagram screen grabs of all of these pattern designers just for the first 26, let alone links. So if you are interested in a pattern that I created, follow the Instagram name that I put right here and you will find it. Please. That being said, my YouTube channel was monetized this year. They do not issue a payment until you reach a $100 threshold. I am $20 away for meeting that threshold. I'm like at $80-ish that I've made in the last 2 months, month and a half on YouTube. And I would really love to get those views up in order to get paid by YouTube by the end of the year. I don't know how that works. I mean, there's only 5 days. Yeah, there's only 5 days left in the year. So I don't know how fast they would, like, release a payment, but it would be very cool to be told by YouTube on December 31st that, hey, we're sending you money. Okay, so if you guys can do me a solid and, like, share this video or share my market day playlist just to get those views up, that would be great. I think it's averaging about $9.50 per 1,000 views is what my analytics are telling me. Now, I'm still new to this, so I don't know exactly what that means, but I don't know. And in other news, I did launch my website officially. Yay! So currently I have all of my plushies available online and all of my stitch markers that I have available listed on my website. On there, I will be posting occasional blog posts or like pattern releases, YouTube video releases, stuff like that, in the blog section. And then there's a shop all section in the homepage. The homepage has a little bio about me. It allows you to sign up for email marketing if you would like to, although I've never done that before, so I don't know what I would send to you. Other than maybe, hey, there's a new YouTube video out, or hey, I released a new pattern, or hey, stitch marker alert. I don't know. It lists all the ways that you can pay. There are other categories available. Like, I will be adding my entire hat inventory. I have ear warmers and gloves. I have a couple sweaters. I have bandanas. And I have over 60 patterns available between Ravelry and Etsy. So I'm not sure if I want to link on my website, like, where you can find my patterns. Like, instead of purchasing them through my website, like, okay, if you want to purchase them in Ravelry, here they are. If you want to purchase them in Etsy, here they are. I don't know. I also don't, my mental health does not like the idea of having to post 60 individual patterns for sale on my website, on top of everything else that I have to upload. I don't know. You guys, can you help me? Like, put it in the comments and tell me what you think I should do, because sometimes it's easier to take the choice away from me, or at least have somebody else tell me what to do so that way I can make a choice. It's complicated, but it helps. Other than that, one of my goals is that sometime in the next 5 days that I get a purchase on my website. I would love to get my first purchase from my website before the year is over. So if you guys can do that, you will help me so much. I would love that a ton. And something for the next year to be on the lookout. I have ordered supplies to start making bracelets. Like friendship bracelets, but not friendship bracelets, I guess. I ordered this cute crocheter bracelet from Refined Vibes website. Her friend was making them, and I love them, and I don't know if she's continuing to make them or not, but I love the vibe of this, and I would like to expand on something like this. I have a dirty sense of humor. My family is a bunch of jerks with potty mouths. So, like, I love the humor behind bad words and stuff like that. So I would love to make bracelets like these, but with all the bad words, but also bracelets with, like, crochet slang or, like, fiber artist names. Like, not just crocheter, knitter, sewist, I think is what it is, fiber artist, stuff like that. I would also like to do a line of like positive affirmation phrases, stuff like that, and just kind of have fun with it. So I ordered stuff to do that, and I've ordered stuff to start making Amy sticks. Because I want to offer like a Crocheters Corner at my markets as well. I think it would be very cool to start just truly investing in the business as a whole. You know, realistically, like, yes, I get so many sales at markets for my plushies and stuff like that, but I would love to have an area where crocheters feel welcome to buy as well. Because a lot of other crocheters, they either don't want to buy the things that somebody else makes because, well, I can make that. I don't need to buy it. Or I can make it and they know that I can make it. And do they think that if I buy it, they're going to think that I'm trying to steal the idea? Which, that's more of an out-of-the-box way of thought. I know that's how my brain works, but whatever. But I really like this idea of community over competition. So, and that's also something, like, if I can get that on a bracelet, that's something that I'm going to put on a bracelet. Because I don't know how many beads that will take. But that phrase is so big for me. I don't want to compete with my crochet friends. I want us all to be able to just hang out and crochet together. You know, getting coffee, learning new things, learning new techniques. You know, just getting to know each other. And I know that in my community, my area, like where I live, that is not always the case. That's not always, there's not always so much welcomeness from other older crocheters in my area, I guess. It's kind of like, they definitely are given the vibe of like, you're stepping on my turf here, and it's like, no. We've probably been crocheting for the same amount of time, but cool. Anyways, so yeah, those are my goals. I want to start making Amy sticks. I want to start making bracelets for the silly and for the crafty people. You know, I already have my stitch markers, but I want to find this area to carve out in my booth space to sell to them as well. And just, you know, I want to offer that stuff on my website when I get there also. So those are the websites. But back to our regular programming here. We're talking about 26 out of 100 plus patterns that I have tried this year. Because I will tell you, I did reach my goal. I did, in fact, make from 100 patterns that I've never used before this year. Also, sorry for my lighting. It's like trying to automatically change it. So this is in no particular order, okay? This is just, these were the first 26 patterns that I could find the Instagram quickly where I found them. So, this is where we're at. The last one that I did, actually, it is a free no-sew mini giraffe pattern. And I'm just going to bring my tablet right here. So if you see me looking down, that's why. It is by Nooks_Hooks. You have 3 colors. The muzzle is basically just bobble stitches. The horns are just bobble stitches. The feet are bobble stitches. So and the ears are surface crochet. It was really fast. I did it at a market. I just so happened to have the colors on me. And it took me maybe 40 minutes to do. And I was kind of in and out of talking to customers and talking on video and stuff like that too. So it's super, super cute. I highly recommend. I get a lot of requests for giraffes at markets, at least in my area. And this is definitely a market prep friendly pattern for that. I will be making more to have on deck in my booth for next year. Then we move on to the No Sew Pocket Frog by Ley Froggies. Lecromi. Now, this is just a little itty bitty frog. I spent some time using up my scrap balls making these. It's basically just a ball with bobble stitches on it. You can put a face and cheeks on it if you want to, but you don't have to. They're really fast. It might take 15 minutes to start and finish it. And I made them in a bunch of different colors. I used different yarns. Like, I used Burnette Blanket, I used Sweet Snuggles Light, and I used Parfait Chunky or Hobie Honey Bunny. And, you know, I will say it took me a very long time to sell these. The only ones that actually sold quickly were the tiny bright green ones with the Parfait Chunky. I sold them for $8. The Sweet Snuggles Light ones I sold for $10, and the Burnette Blanket ones I sold for $12. Granted, I know that some other people do well with these. I did not add faces on mine, I just had eyes, which might have helped. But I didn't find as much joy with this pattern. It's a well-written pattern. I didn't change anything on it. It's well-written. It just did not sell for me very well in my area. So then we move on to one of my best-selling products of the year. Like, I could not keep them in stock. This is a pattern by Making Things Naughty. It is her Claw Machine Squish Chick pattern. And they come with, so you can make them in various sizes. No, you can make them in various colors. I don't know what my cat's doing here. To make different birds, you can add the comb on top to make them look more like a chicken or not. You make them in bigger yarns, they end up in different sizes, but I tell you that I cannot keep these in stock. I sell out. Probably every other market. I'm typically making 10 to 30 of them at a time. And I think at my best-selling market, I had sold like 16 of them at one event. And I sell them for $10 a piece. I think my other cat's outside too. I hear him meowing. Anyways, okay. My face is all red now. I've got a cold, or I'm starting to get one. I'm sure you guys don't want to see me blow my nose, you know? Anyways, this is a pattern that I made once this year, but I intend on making more. My cat's staring at me through the window. It was pretty straightforward. It was pretty easy. This is a pattern by Knots by Jack and Rosalie Toys. And I'll have that over there. But they're little cows. They stand about yay tall, probably 9 inches or so. So I sell them for $30, but they're no-sew. There's the cat. He says, "Let me in." Hi, kitty. You don't have to crochet spots. You can just embroider spots onto it. The muzzle is the muzzle is just color changing. You have some facial shaping. The feet and the horns are bobble stitches. The ears you crochet first and are crocheted in. And if you wanted to, you could do loop stitches for the hair. So it was a very cute pattern. It was very quick. I made it because somebody requested me to make a cow. I was working on it at a market that was super, super busy. So it took me about an hour to finish it, but not because of the pattern itself, because of the fact that there were so many people who kept interrupting me for sales. So the person who asked for it did not end up taking it home, but I waited an hour after the last time that I saw her, because she didn't leave me contact information or anything. She was just walking around. And after the hour was up, I put the cow out on the end of the table to sell. And within 15 minutes, it sold for $30. So it was just a black and white cow. And people loved it. So I recommend, it's a free pattern. These are all free patterns on Instagram, actually, all of these. So that's also a good part of this video. This is a two-parter. Then I did a pattern test earlier this year for Yarntastic Crochets for her flower friends. Now, I did the sunflower, and I did it with velvet yarn. Now, I did sell it for $30, I believe. It was tall, but it was skinny, so it averaged out. Now, there was, she was great to work with. It was a great pattern. It's a cute design. People loved it. I added a little blush, and what was I gonna say? Oh, well, okay, so on her published pattern, there were two typos, one of which was just instead of DC for double crochet, it says DB, and the other one, I can't actually see it because I only screenshot the first page, but it's listed there in the thing. I know that when I was working on it, it was trying to give you the instructions to, like, create the hole to sew the head onto the body, so that way there would be, like, a hole connecting the two. But I misunderstood and did it wrong, and so I thought it was like a loop, like we were hanging it up, so that's what I did. In the end, it worked out as it should anyways, but, excuse me, it was a very cute pattern. I wouldn't necessarily say that it's the best pattern for markets, but it was very cute. It's free. If you like flowers, this could be your thing. I just don't necessarily think it's the most market friendly item. Then, when I was on my crochet retreat, I decided to work up this baby Brontosaurus pattern from Chanel's Crochet. And it is so cute. Like, hers just sits in the palm of your hand, okay? The one that I made with, what color did I make it? It was like a teal. So I'm assuming it was Parfait XL, okay? So it was a very big yarn, and it turned out this tall, easily. It was so big. I'm pretty sure I sold it for $35 or $40. It did take a little while to sell, but it was big. It's so freaking cute. Now I make the Brontos in Bernat blanket yarn. It brings them down to about 6 inches tall. I sell them for $20 a piece. I made 10 of them. I have 3 left. And it's just the colors. If I restock the colors that have sold out, I know that they'll sell. The colors that I have left, for some reason, are not everybody's cup of tea. So, and they're all like green versions. I don't understand. But I'll post a picture in here. It's very, very easy pattern. You work it up, I'm pretty sure from the top of the head down. There's some facial shaping. You create like a chain to create the hole for the tail, bobble stitches for the feet, and then you will crochet onto that finished body to work the tail, as opposed to making the tail and sewing it on. So it is completely no sew. It's very, very easy. I highly recommend. And the boys and the girls both love dinos, and they love options. At this point, I have the Triceratops, I have a Stegosaurus, I have a T-Rex, and I have a Brontosaurus. And the kids love the dinosaurs. Love them. I'm so sorry. Then, this was a good one. All From Jade has out a squishy baby jellyfish pattern. Now, hers almost look a little bit bigger than mine, but maybe I'm just not stuffing mine as much as hers, or maybe she used thicker yarn, but it's so freaking cute. I make them in all of my scrap colors, because what do you use the scraps for other than finishing off yarn that you don't have? You can't make anything else with it. You got to make the tiny things. So I make these with Sweet Snuggles Light. I make like one in every color that I have. I sell them for $12. Sometimes I'll put safety eyes in them, and sometimes I'll just embroider eyes, because the tentacles are, babies love them. People love the idea of jellyfish and octos for babies. But the plastic safety eyes are not baby safe. They're rated safe for 3 and up. So keep that in mind. And I'm pretty sure I said All From Jade. So that's a super easy pattern. Now I will say that these don't sell as fast as some other things that I make, but they're very, very market friendly. Like maybe 20 minutes to finish, maybe. So if you just take a day and crochet as many of them as you can, you could be set for a month. Or if you don't do markets hardly ever, you're set forever. Like, you know, you'll have them and they will sell. It's just one of those things that sells a little bit slower, but I would highly recommend. Because I was really trying to find more things that fit in that like under $15 category more than anything. So I didn't have much. Then we did talk about this pattern in an earlier video on my duck pattern review video. I know that was very specific, but this is an Absies Makes pattern, Wilfred the Mallard. It's no-sew. It's super, super cute. I had been wanting to make this pattern since the moment she released it. It's freaking adorable. I'm pretty sure I applied to be a pattern tester on it too, but I didn't get chosen, which is fine. I still made it in the end. Completely no-sew. I mean, you start with the wings. Once you get there, you crochet them in. The feet are, her instructions tell you to crochet the feet and then crochet them in at the end. I think if I did them again, I would probably make them like a 5 triple bobble stitch, because it's just a little extra work unnecessarily. The beak you crochet on and then crochet together after the body and the head are done. I will say that the eyes that I chose, they were as big as I had, and they would have looked better if they were bigger, so definitely use bigger eyes. But this was a very, very cute pattern, and this duck has sold. All of the ducks that I had made have sold. All of them. Except for one, because I had made, I made 5 of them, sold all of those, took the one, like, squishy or baby penguin pattern, made 10 of those, sold all of them but one. And it would have sold if I had another market, I'm sure. The markets this month just were not good. Was very sad about that. Good thing I had other means of income, but still. Then I added in mini snakes by Hook Crochet Co. These are super fun to make. You start out, there's a chain, and you work around the chain, and then you have some increases and then some decreases to do the shaping of the head. You only stuff the head and not anything else. I make them in Sweet Snuggles Light. Then you crochet down the body and you decrease occasionally until you get to the tip. You sew it shut. Then sometimes even if you don't stuff something, the yarn itself makes it a little bit stiff. So I'll grab it by the tip of the tail and I'll swing it around like a damn helicopter. And it's funny to watch. Could possibly be used as a weapon, but it's okay. I like the snakes better with the solid black safety eyes as opposed to my kawaii style eyes. I think that the snake doesn't do the kawaii style eyes the justice that they deserve. But I've made probably 20 of these this year. I didn't start making them until September. So they're not my most popular thing that sells, but all of the ones that I have left are the girl colors. So like the hot pink and the light purple and a coral color, something like that. So all of like the boy colors, any of the colors that look like speckle or could possibly look like scaled effects, those all do really well. I have not made any that have any striping of any kind. They just pick a color and I make it all out of one skein. I hate color changing. So I recommend this. I sell them for $15 and they come out about yay long. So almost 12 inches. I don't necessarily think they're quite 12, but a lot of people like them. A lot of the kids will pick them up and start playing with them. They really enjoy just the mobility of them, I think. And they love teasing their moms or their grandmas with them. Then, you know, right before spooky season, I was looking for a ghost pattern, so I decided to try Crochet with Bays ghost pattern. The one I'm looking at says baby ghost, but I'm pretty sure the one that I made was a bit bigger, and it was too big for what I wanted, so I found one that was even smaller. I haven't found that one yet, but I did make Crochet with Bays ghost pattern. It was very straightforward. It was very easy. You know, yeah, it didn't take very long to do or anything like that. Super, super easy, super straightforward. It was just a little big for what I wanted specifically. I wanted like a $10 size. And for me, that's only 3 inches in size. So I highly recommend. Definitely check it out. It's well worth it. And people love spooky season all year long. Some do anyways. Then this is another pattern that we've talked about once before. This, I don't know how to spell or how to say this, but I want to say it's like Hakiya's art. HAKIYAZART _. This is her free penguin pattern, or their free penguin pattern. I chose to make it as a mallard duck, so I did not color change any of the white. It just was solid colors. Then when I got to the bottom of the neck, I added an extra row of white for that white row in the mallard duck, and then for the rest of it, I changed it to brown, and then orange or gold for the feet. The pattern itself was a good pattern, but I did not like the shape. This was the pattern out of the 5 that I liked the least for the way that it looked. Hers makes it look like there's a lot more shaping from the head to the body. I don't know if I did something wrong or if I just didn't shape it right or what, but it just looked like a blob duck. It just looked like a blob. And I didn't want a blob. I wanted a duck. Now, that being said, I did sell this one for $18 because it was a little bit bigger than what I was going for. And it was the first one that sold. But her reasoning for buying it was kind of like, it's so ugly, it's cute type of thing. Like, she loved the fact that it just looked like a little blob duck. She said it looked kind of like a squishmallow. Squishmallow? I don't know if, I feel like I said that wrong. I don't know. It's a cute, like, her penguin is super cute. I just think that transitioning to the mallard, it didn't do what I wanted it to. Which is fine. That's fine. Not a problem. Then, taking it back to Book Fair Week in the spring of this year. Yeah. No. Maybe in the fall. I don't know. Anyways. Amateur Hour on Instagram has the free pocket frog pattern. Now this one looks more like it has little arms and little legs that it's sitting back on. It's very, very cute. I only made it the one time. I think I made it in velvet yarn. I'll put the picture up here, but it turned out itty bitty, and I made it for my kid's librarian at the school because she is obsessed with frogs. Honestly, if you could see her frog collection, that's creepy. I'm pretty sure that's my other cat. But when you look behind me and all you see are creepy eyes, goodness. When I'm done with this video, I will let her in. I am not a bad cat person, I swear. I love my cats. But they also wanted to go outside. So it's on them. Okay? Anyways, this is a very, very easy, straightforward pattern as well. I do believe that it also was no-sew. Yeah. I put safety eyes in it, but I made it for my kid's librarian, and I didn't say anything to her. I just put it on her, like, right underneath her computer at work, and she messaged me a couple days later. It's like, oh my gosh, Kat, that's so cute. You didn't have to do that. I'm like, it's okay. Like, I wanted to. I was already sitting there crocheting, not doing anything, so I try to leave a little goodie for the teachers while I'm there. Then, another spooky season pattern. Loops and Knot Crochet. She has a free spider pattern out. It's white and has red accents on it. I wanted a no-sew, market prep friendly spider. And so I worked this one up and I liked it, but it just wasn't as defined as I wanted it to. Like, it was very close. It was a great pattern. It's very, very quick. It is no-sew, but you have to embroider on the fangs, and I don't believe she gives you instructions on where to put the eyes, so that was a little bit tricky. And I wanted it so that way the butt of the spider was a bit bigger than the body, but I loved the idea that it was no-sew from one side to the other, as opposed to there's another popular, like, jumping spider pattern out there that is very cute and small and looks market prep friendly, but you have to sew the butt to the rest of the body. And I just kind of think that's unnecessary. So this one didn't work. Eventually I will get to what worked out in the long run with this, but it's a very Loops and Knots Crochet, her spider pattern. It's very straightforward. It's very easy. I recommend it, honestly. It's not what I was going for, because I can be very nitpicky in particular. But this worked really well. And this spider sold pretty quickly, too. I sold it for $15. So that's also something to keep in mind. She also has a YouTube channel, so if you guys aren't familiar with her as a designer, check her out. She's got lots of free patterns. She's got YouTube tutorials for patterns. And I want to say she lives in, like, Virginia? Something like that. So she's on the East Coast. But she only does, like, 1 or 2 really big markets throughout the year. And she preps for those all year long. And her patterns are so freaking cute. So cute. Anyways. Then, Christmassy pattern. I'm sure that if you have seen some of my recent videos or checked out my Instagram or Facebook pages, you would see the Jumbo Meanie Greenie that I come up with. This was a pattern by Johanna Migurumi. It's combining Johanna and amigurumi into the same word. I'm going to type that because it's hard for me to say. It is no sew, or at least it's supposed to be. If I'm remembering right, it wants you to crochet a separate piece for the hair and to sew it on. I did not do that. I just slip stitched in, chained, slip stitched, chained, slip stitched, and did it 3 or 4 times. I embroidered a little heart on it. I used Burlap Blanket Extra yarn, so it literally turned out like huge. It was so big. And I used 30mm champagne colored hand painted safety eyes by the ADHD hobbyist. She's amazing. Claire's great. Her safety eyes are phenomenal. You should definitely check out her site. Then we did some embroidery. I did some facial shaping to try to help with that too. But I had used dark green on the nose, and I was on the Zoom with the girls. And Michelle's like, you know, why don't you try doing the eyebrows with the dark green as well? So I did, and we really liked it. They're like, oh my god, that's perfect. Well, then because I used that, I was like, well, now, like, I feel like it needs a mouth. So I embroidered a dark green, like, frown. And oh my god, is he the grumpiest Grinch. I didn't have him for super long. He did not sell at any of my markets. But shout out to my friend Venetia up in Erie. She bought it from me and had me ship it to her. And she loves him. So thank you, Venetia. I hope you like your Jumbo Grinch. And I sold him for $40. Yeah, $40. So, highly recommend. Very, very easy pattern. And the Meanie Greenie pattern went freaking nuts this year. People loved making the Meanie Greenie. Then, I talked about this earlier. One of the new dino patterns that I made this year is Stewie the Stegosaurus by Mel's Crocheted Creations. Hers uses Burlap Blanket. I use Sweet Snuggles Light for mine. I did modify this pattern a bit. I took out a row in the belly and I shortened the tail by a few rows. I really felt that it was just too long for the style that I was going for. I was going much, much more for like the chibi look to match the Triceratops that I work with. I use the Club Crochet Triceratops, so I really wanted that more round dino. So I did do that, and I get a little confused with the spikes on the back of it. I don't know if I'm overthinking it or if I need to see somebody do it or something, because there's something between the way that she does it and the way that I'm doing it that they're not the same. They don't look the same on paper. But I feel like I'm doing what the words are telling me to do. So it's not a bad thing. They don't look like, neither way looks bad. It just, I feel like I'm not doing the spikes quite right. But it is a very easy, like, cute dino pattern. So if you want a Stegosaurus in your inventory, I highly recommend this. It's free. And she has a new pack out with these dinosaurs smaller. Like a tiny version. So I would check those out too. People really liked the Stegosaurus. There were a couple people who come up and was like, oh, do you have dinos? I'm like, yeah, these are the ones that I have. These are the ones that I have. Like, oh, you don't have a Stegosaurus, do you? I'm like, oh, well, I do, actually. It's right there. And they're like, oh my god, that's my favorite dinosaur. So it worked out. Then I was on a Ley Froggie kick. I was trying to find mini versions of them. So I tried out a couple mini Froggie, like mini Ley Froggie versions. The first one that I tried was Crocheted by Claudia. This is the pattern that like Creative Michelle and Refined Vibes and a couple other people have been using. It's cute, but it's not the look that I was going for. I wanted more of a mini version of the Ley Froggies. So I wanted there to be more arms and leg, not just these little itty bitty nubs. So I know that they really love this pattern and that it's working really well for them. I just felt like the body itself was too big in comparison to the arms, but it is a very easy, straightforward pattern. So this is good. It's a market prep friendly pattern, honestly. And they're very cute. I know they're having a lot of success with them. I put this one on a keychain because it's the only one like it. So we'll see how it goes. Then, of course, the loaf cats have taken everybody by storm this year. So I don't want to make regular size loaf cats. That's just not fast enough for me. I want to make the mini loaf cats, and I tried a few different patterns of mini loaf cats this year, but this is the one ultimately that I chose to use throughout the year. It is a little bit of a tricky pattern because of the fact that like there is a couple typos. And there's something about how hers looks in the picture versus how it looks when you finish it that are different. Something like her picture for the pattern, it just doesn't do it justice. I guess what I'm saying is that when you use the pattern and make it, it looks a lot cuter than her picture gives it credit for. Like, her cat's cute, but it's not as cute as it actually turns out. And I don't know why, but what I found, like, I do not do the color changes. I only make it in solid. Then for all of my plushies, if a pattern tells me to do bobble stitches, I will, instead of a regular bobble stitch, I trade them all out for a triple bobble instead of a double crochet bobble, because it makes them more pronounced. It just gives them more oomph, visual aspect. Then for the ears, I crochet them into the round as opposed to crocheting them on it after the fact. So when you're crocheting around and it tells you to work in the back loop only to create the front loop, in that row, I will crochet the ears into those front loop stitches and then continue on around. And then in the next round, I will work into the back loop of those stitches. So it works out in the end. I love the look of them, and these mini loaf cats have been one of my best sellers throughout the year. Like, I'm literally making them 15 to 20 at a time every other month, probably. And I'm doing a market. I was doing a market basically every weekend. So I highly recommend this pattern. It does take a couple adjustments, a couple tweaks. Give it a shot. You know, if you feel better crocheting the ears on like surface crochet after the fact, that's fine. Do it that way. If it takes you doing it that way first to figure out how I mean to crochet them in the round instead, do it. But I highly recommend this pattern. It's the right proportions. Like I tried the one by Crochet Janina, and like it was like a pancake. It was very flat. Like there was the face, very flat, and then the butt. Like I thought that was kind of strange. And then there was another one that I tried that was itty bitty tiny. It was just too small for what I was going for. So like this is the one that I landed on. Oh, and if I didn't say, this is Sweet. I'm pretty sure it's Sweet Bay Crochet. So Sweet BEA Crochet. Highly recommend, honestly. One of my best-selling patterns of the year. Then on the topic of dinosaurs. The dinosaur pattern that I opted for this year is by Sweet Softies. It is Tiny Rex the Pocket Dino. This is a pattern that is available free to view on her blog. I had screenshot it because I hate reading patterns off of blogs. Forgive me, I'm sorry. Hers does not have the instructions to do the bobble stitch arms and legs in the round. She tells you to put a stitch marker and to do them after the fact as surface bobble crochet. I did not want to do that, so I actually changed, I figured out where they belonged, how many stitches apart, and I crocheted them into the round. So I don't have those notes with me at the moment, so I can't really share them here. But if you need help figuring that out, please feel free to message me. That's totally fine. I also do not make mine with the spikes along the back. I think that the T-Rexes look better without them, because you see these pictures of T-Rexes on TV and cartoons and stuff, and none of them have spinal spikes. So I feel like it looks more traditionally like a T-Rex without the spikes. So that's up to you. Save yourself some work. That's my way of thinking, is it's more effort for no reason. So, Tiny Rex the Pocket Dino, Sweet Softies on her blog. This should be the only one that's on a blog, actually. But this is my T-Rex pattern that I use, and people really like it. I've made probably 15 or 20 of them this year. Maybe even 25. I sell them for $15. Now, I made a couple of them at the very beginning of the year in April. And then I didn't make any at all until maybe the beginning of November. Maybe. And so they all sold pretty quickly. Now I have 3 left, and they're just in random scrap colors that were in my bag when I made them at the time, because I was making them at a market. So, then, okay, I was just skipping ahead to see how many of these patterns we have left, because we're 53 minutes in. So I hope you guys like a chatty video talking about patterns. Then, in the beginning of this year, I started a partnership with consignment in a child's resale boutique. So basically what she does is, I don't know if Plato's Closet is a national thing or not, but it's a little kids boutique that you can take your kids' clothes and you can essentially sell them to her store, and then she marks them up and sells them from her store to other people. She also takes donations of maternity clothes and gives them away for free. She will buy your baby equipment and stuff like that and resell it. And then she also allows a few small businesses to sell kid-related things on consignment out of her shop for 25%. So that's pretty standard in my area. I'm okay with that. But our stipulation together is that she only wants items that I can sell out of her shop for no more than $11. So that's all. She wanted it for the $10 items, but there's nothing that I make that I can have her sell for $10, because then I make nothing. It's not that I make nothing. Don't get me wrong. It doesn't make sense that I can sell something for $10, and when I sell it for $10, I don't really have expenses above the norm. But if I let her sell it for me for $10, then I get 25% less. So if I mark the price up a little bit, it kind of covers that a little. I don't know. My brain's trying to do things. But one of the first patterns that we had tried introducing there was also by Sweet Bay Crochet. She has on here the 3 little birds pattern, and I was making the chicken with velvet yarn. It turned out really small, but very round, and hers looks more tall. So I was making them, and Very quick pattern, very easy to read. Honestly, a great, great pattern. But a little more work than I wanted to put in for a $10 item. So that's when I switched to making the Making Things Naughty Squish Chicks, because it's slightly smaller of a pattern. Like, when it's a finished product that's slightly smaller, it has less stitches in it because you use bigger yarn. So it worked out better in the long run that way. But this was the pattern that I started with. I made like 20 of them as my first batch. And they were very, very cute, honestly. So this is a good pattern as well. It also comes with a chick, a yellow chick, and a mallard. Good pattern for you on Instagram. Then back to these mallards again, guys. Back to these patterns that I talked about. The Snoozing Goose pattern by Crochet. And it's also by Cone Crochet and Daria Handmade. Those are all of the names tagged in this design, and I don't know what their split is. I don't know if one of them designed it or what it is, but I don't know. It's tagged in the Netherlands, though. The Snoozing Goose pattern also comes with mods for a flamingo and a mallard duck. Granted, the mallard duck would be better to do it more in, like, Canadian goose colors, because mallard ducks don't have a long neck. And my avid bird hunter husband wanted to give me crap about my mallard duck looking like a goose. So, fair warning. Anyways, very cute pattern. It took probably 2.5 hours for me to make. It comes out pretty big. I sold mine for $35. Now that was a mistake. I meant to sell it for $45 because of the size, but I did not put a price tag on it. And so I come up with a price on the fly and I misspoke, so I had to stick with it. Now this pattern, it's the belly for the feet is supposed to be, like, obviously the feet go on the bottom, right? So the belly is this part that does this. And the instructions, when it tells you to work on the head, it doesn't really tell you, like, which way is up when you're working along the seam. So the way that it all works out is you assume that the seam is on the bottom, and then it ends up being flipped, and you try to adjust things for the head to make it, the head, like the beak, be turned right. So it was a little tricky, but it's kind of like a trust the process, do it exactly as it's written, and make sure that that belly is doing this on the bottom, and then attach your legs from that. Because I did not, and it turned out slightly odd because the belly was on top, so it looked more like this, which nobody cared, honestly, but it's a nitpicky me thing. But it is a free pattern. It makes a cute duck, goose, whatever. You can also do the flamingo. You can do a regular goose. It was pretty easy. I did mine with Sweet Snuggles Light. So, yeah, I mean, it's a really cute pattern. And I love all of Crochet's patterns. She has a lot of patterns that have butts on them. And I need to make them all and just have like a booty section on my booth because I think it'd be hilarious. Then, another of the patterns. This ultimately is the pattern that I chose to use for my mallard ducks. It is the Crochet Baby Penguin by Squishy Moo-Moos, which her name kills me. I don't know why. It just cracks me up. But it's a free pattern. It's no-sew. How I modify this is all of the black and white for the head is all green. You get to the bottom of the white and you add a row, like you change from the green to the white and you add just a row of single crochet around. then switch to brown and do the wings and the belly. And you'll do your orange or gold for the feet. So it's a very, very easy pattern. It's very quick. I know my friend Felicia made a bunch of these, and she made them in like the body colors were different colors to look like sweaters for Christmas. And it's just so cute. They have little chubby cheeks. It's very fast. It's very market prep friendly. It's a free pattern. And you can do penguins. Penguins or ducks, your choice. So highly recommend that one. This is the pattern that I was talking about that I said that I made a ton already. And I have one left. Jesus fucking Christ, these cats. Ugh. Cleared my sinuses though. I hope you guys find amusement out of this. We're almost done. Okay, so another one of the penguin patterns that I used for ducks is by KS_crochet_critters. So K's Crochet Critters. I don't remember what she called this pattern, but it's just a free penguin pattern on Instagram. You crochet the wings and you crochet the feet and you crochet the beak and you crochet them all in the round. So for this one, same thing as the others. I did the head all in one single color, the green, and then I added the row of white, and then I crocheted it in the wings with the brown, and then went down and did the feet in gold. I will say that this was another one of the patterns that sold pretty quickly, actually. People really liked this. It took me probably an hour and a half to 2 hours to make this up. I did sell it for $25, so I didn't have it for very long. It's really a market prep friendly pattern for most people. It's just a bit big for something for me to have all the time. So, highly recommend K's Crocheted Critters. Very cute pattern. Cute as a penguin, cute as a mallard. But at the same time, definitely looks like a penguin playing dress up as a mallard. The beak in itself makes it look more like a penguin. If you could get it more flat, like a bill, it might work better. Then another pattern that I tried just not too long ago, actually, is the Jelly Bean Kitten pattern by Elliot.et. Company. I'm pretty sure it's French. Okay, I'm gonna put it here. They are from Canada. But yeah, so it's a free pattern. It's this itty bitty tiny kitty. I did alter it in the pattern. Tells you to do bobble stitches for the ears. That was gonna turn out way too round for what I was looking for, so I did do like a picot stitch. So single crochet, picot, single crochet as the ears. It turned out itty bitty, just this big. I used Sweet Snuggles Light and I made it a keychain. I do still have it. Maybe I need to put a little embroidered nose on it just to make it look more like a cat. And I just used plain brown. So it's super cute. A little small for what I was going for. Because I was trying to find more patterns to make more like $10 items. Since introducing my $10 mystery boxes, I want to have more $10 items to choose from. So that was my point with that. So very, very cute pattern. Like I said, the only modification that I made for that was the ears. So I recommend though. Then another item that I found for $10. This is the Gummy Bear pattern by Perla's Craft Designs. No sew, no eyes, no embroidery, just bobble stitches for the details. So damn easy. So easy. Now, I will say that this is not one of my most popular patterns. I have made maybe like 12 of them, because I made 2 in like rainbow yarn. I double stranded a really thin rainbow yarn from Hobby Lobby with just a white, like, Parfait Chunky. And then another one pairing that same yarn with black Parfait Chunky. Those sold quickly. Then I made a whole bunch, like 10 of them in Sweet Snuggles Light. And those are selling a lot slower. Actually, no, I made 20 of them because I made 10 for markets and 10 for my other, the other store that I have stuff in. So, cute pattern, great for having inventory on your table, very quick. Just not really a fast seller necessarily, but if you're looking for something to have cheap items on your table, definitely recommend. Takes hardly any work. Then another Christmassy pattern. Now this one sold pretty quickly. I've only ever made one. This is Lil Nelly Knits. Also Brooke Skiver or Skiver on Instagram. This is her no-sew green meanie buddy. Super, super cute. It's essentially like a leggy Grinch with a scarf. Has a very pointed head and little hair on top. So easy. So cute. So incredibly cute. I did sell it for $18. And I think I took it to 2 markets and then it sold. So very much recommend. Next year I will probably make 5 of these at the beginning of holiday season and sell as opposed to just 1. So I think that will be awesome. Definitely recommend it. Then I also did this free Christmas tree pattern from Fox Den Handmade on Instagram. I used dark green instead of the light green. I used my kawaii eyes. I did not put a mouth on it. And then I essentially put sprinkles, is what it looked like, in red and white yarn, as opposed to trying to figure out how to do like little knots or little balls. And for this, there's a star pattern that is written, but it's for like a worsted weight yarn. I did not want to do that. So I did modify that with my Sweet Snuggles Light yarn. But if I'm honest, I don't remember what I did. I know that it turned out a little bit bigger. I don't know. You could try to work up their star if you want to. But just understand that my star does not look like their star. And I don't remember why. Sorry. Now this, out of all of the Christmas patterns that I made this year, this Christmas tree was the first one to sell. I did sell it for $20. So it was super cute and it moved really quick. And she said it was going to be part of her Christmas display every year now. So I love that personally. And there's no more. I can't swipe anymore. So that's it, guys. That is 26 patterns out of 100 plus. Because I know that there is more than 115 new patterns that I have worked on this year. But this is something that I need you to put in the comments below. Like, for real, need you to answer this question for me. A pattern that I designed this year, does that count as a new to me pattern for this 100 crochet pattern challenge of 2024? Should I count them, or should I cross them out and put that in a separate video altogether, like just a separate thing, and only count the patterns that belong to other people? Let me know, honestly. Let me know. I would love to know. That being said, though, These were all free Instagram patterns. Almost all the ones that I've done this year have been free Instagram patterns. So I hope that this edition really helps you guys. Definitely some of my best-selling items for the year are in this list. If you have any questions at all, please reach out. Let me know. I would love to be of service in some way to you guys. I hope you had a Merry Christmas. I'm wishing you the biggest Happy New Year. But otherwise, make sure that you are subscribed. Make sure to like this video. Make sure to hit that notification bell. Comment down below. And I'll see you in the next one, guys. Bye!